Are you looking to boost your B2B marketing results with more effective video content? On today's episode, we'll dive into how mid-funnel video marketing can transform the way you nurture leads and drive conversions. I'm Devin Herz. Welcome to the DMC Marketing Nugget.
Now welcome your host with the Daily Nugget Dose, Devin Herz.
My guest today specializes in mid-funnel strategies. Throughout his career, Tim has led large creative teams and collaborated with major tech brands like Cisco, Hitachi, and Philips, bringing their stories to life through compelling video campaigns. Welcome to the DMC Nugget, co-founder of Pennant Video. Tim, awesome to have you here, man.
Devin, thanks a bunch. This is going to be awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah, we always love bringing on other fellow creatives. It just opens our minds and gives our audience a new perspective on how video can be used. We're seeing tons of it, of course, on social, on websites. Love to know more about the mid-funnel stuff. Before we get into that, love to get a brief overview of how you got into the world of video, Tim.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it started when I was a kid. I was super fortunate that my parents had a, big clunky VHS tape player, right? So me and my kid brothers, we'd, just be imaginative in the backyard and do stop motion animation with my Legos and things like that. So it started at an early age, but yeah, I think a lot of it is rooted in this sort of DIY freelance life that I had at the start of my career, right? Like a lot of that, learning on the fly, failing fast, learning the entire process, learning what really audiences desire and need to help in their decision-making journeys, right? And then I did a solid stint agency side, building out a creative department, supporting with rich media, i.e. video, right? And then I've since launched Pennant, which I'm really excited to talk about here today.
Nice. Yeah, it's not always about what the clients want on the video. It's what the audience wants to see.
Yes, yes.
Engaging and what's
Thank you.
going to work. So, very important thing. We'll start off with that nugget right away, right? So,
Yes.
sometimes we got to get out of our own way as business owners to really focus on what we're talking about, making sure that content is relevant to who's watching it. Researched you, saw that you kind of coined this term video marketing trifecta. I'd love to learn more about that and why mid-funnel video marketing is so essential for business growth. And for people out there may not even know what mid-funnel video even means. So if you want to
Totally.
hit on what video marketing trifecta and mid-funnel video is all about, I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, of course. So in the, 15, 20 years experience, I've been doing this now. The hardest thing when describing the power of video is that it's just a word, video, right? Like folks don't really understand exactly the nuance of not only to create it, but where it fits in the buyer's journey, right? Like where it can be deployed to build trust, build on belief on behalf of these brands, right? And so this framework, this video marketing trifecta is set to support that, right? Essentially giving buyers the journey to help them make decisions, right? When interacting with our clients, with the brands, right? You've sold a click, people arrive on your website, then what? That's where we take over in the mid funnel, the mid of the mid funnel journey with this trifecta, which I can get into more detail.
I think a lot of people are paying a good amount of money just to get traffic to a website, to pay attention on social. So understanding what that means and how that works and really how that can help between converting interested leads into paying customers. And that's super important because I see it all the time. I look at analytics and yeah, we have tons of people there, but were our conversions as good as they can be? Testing and measuring, constantly trying new things, changing up the video, the calls to action, all those things play a part in the reaction and the ultimate results that we get. So what are some of the mistakes that you've seen that people are doing in that mid-funnel video strategy? And what are those mistakes that people should be thinking about avoiding and how they can avoid them?
Yeah, the first one is that thinking that this single tool, this single asset, this single video can solve all the problems, answer all the questions for all audiences everywhere, right? So it's really you need to be rooted in strategy first, which we all know this, right? So like talking to one audience type with one pain point solution set types of stories, right? To help them better understand how your brand fits into their own journey as a professional, right? Like how to help them solve the challenge they're running up against or the friction that they're constantly combating, right? Like how you help solve their problems and make them better at the end of the day. So the framework, the trifecta, ultimately is based around these principles of differentiating you from your competition, from your rivals, demonstrating your solution's value to this audience, and validating it to further trust it through customer stories, right? So very specifically in that same order, anthem videos, you can call them mission, overview, brand story, right? Ultimately, they should express your brand's why you exist, why you're here, why your audience should care, right? The second in the trifecta is explainer videos. We all know that these tools work because they succinctly express the what you do and how you do it in an elegant, engaging, non-complex way, right? And lastly, these endorsement videos or customer stories or testimonials, we all know how powerful those are at instilling and furthering that trust. And through this framework, the trifecta, it brings buyers along a journey to ideally make the decision, to empower them to make the decision in your favor.
Yeah, that's awesome. The Simon Sinek why and hitting on the pain points. I know people hear it over and over again, and sometimes it's you don't know what your clients are thinking and what the pains they're going through. I would tie this into some of our past episodes of, well, now you can easily do that with a little bit of AI help, the right prompts, building your avatars first. Have a client right now that we're representing called Forever Safe Shelters. They're marketing their awesome F5 tornado shelters that are way up here on the level of shelters, and they're going after different clients. They have schools they're going after. They got the home builders they're going after, and it's so important that we do understand what those pain points are for the different types of audiences that you are serving, because that message needs to be tweaked to talk one-to-one to them so they understand that. And I think that is a huge way to think that not one video solves all. I mean, you
Correct.
have to really think of your different audiences out there for sure.
Yeah, the way we as video marketing partners, we tend to say we show up with this like double high five, right? Like sympathy for our clients, the folks that are like, paying our invoices, and sympathy towards their day-to-day marketing challenges. These folks, man, they have like so many plates spinning in the air, and so it's like, how can we best show up to support their individual goals, their business goals, towards the KPIs they're working towards. But we also have to carry empathy, like almost more importantly, for the audience, right? And like where they are in their own journeys to assure that, what we're putting out to the market really resonates with them first, right? And success with the audience is in turn success with our clients at the end of the day.
Yeah, so very true. And I know that you emphasize the importance of differentiating yourself, demonstrating and validating in mid-funnel content. I'd love to hear an example of how you have used this strategy, and possibly you can send over a video. We can throw it up here as an example that you successfully use this approach to really boost client conversions. Again, I think that's an important part of a business, is making sure that you get those people there. How can we increase that chance? So I'd love to hear your take on that, and maybe a story of how you've done that.
Yeah, happy to. So most of the times when we're brought in to support a brand, they are at some semblance of an inflection point, right? Like they have a new product to launch or a new solution to put to market, right? Or they're going through a rebrand of some kind, or they have a new vertical or initiative, or they have awesome new customers that they want to show and tell as heroes, right? So it's in those moments that we get that clarity of like what is the goal here and the outcome we're all working towards on behalf of the collective, ourselves, the client, and of course the audience at the end of the day. So an example I'd give was is for a cybersecurity company that we work with quite a bit. They largely based in Tel Aviv, but now have this U.S. based office, and they needed to make make the most of this audience here in the States, right? And so they of these buyers, potential buyers here in the States. So they came to us to help them in this sort of rebrand moment. Like they had new designs, new messaging, new positioning, right? Sort of all of that to support this U.S. market. And so we came in with what I call the sort of two sides of the same coin, the anthem and the explainer video combination, because those express their why as well as demonstrated their what they do and how they do it, right? So that supported them from a go-to-market perspective of like really showing how they're different from their rivals, putting a stake in the ground of what their mission is all about and how they're why they're here to support their customers in the way that they do. Then with that, sort of proverbial carrot on the string, we drew them in further, these prospects further with the explainer view to be like, all right, well, that all sounds great, but like, what is it that you exactly do, and like, how is this for me, right? So that helped explain. Both of these launched at RSA conference, so the major cybersecurity trade show last year. And so from that, you arm, all of that is sales enablement at the end of the day, right? So like giving these tools to your sales force, obviously putting them on your 24/7 salesperson, aka your website, right? So like all of these opportunities, and then from there, because we had designs, we had because this was an animated video, right? So like we have all these assets that are unique and new that enriches our client's program internally and externally, right? From everything from
Absolutely.
decks and socials and et cetera, the email campaigns. So it just feels holistically cohesive to this brand's mission and to their identity.
Yeah, that's a good point there. On not only does it work well for selling and that type of thing, but for salespeople, it helps streamline the sales process and what people are saying out there. I've had in many instances in our world when we're using our video brochures and how HVAC techs, some of them may be okay salespeople, but most of them are HVAC techs. They're going out there to service an AC unit. So by using a video brochure and having that why video and what sets them apart and differentiates them, it just takes the whole sales stress out of it for the HVAC tech. And boom, put a video right in their hand. Now it streamlines what the owners and the founders of that company want to say, right? Because
That synthesizer. Yeah,
it does.
exactly. Yeah.
It
It's
does.
that those anthem videos are such like, we call them a flagship asset, Pennant video, but they're your blue chip, they're your tip of the spear, right? Like they're that thing that should really like tug on the heartstrings of that audience, of that prospective buyer, right? To be like, I feel seen. These people are here to support me, right? And like once you have that video working the way it's supposed to work, that journey, you're off to the races, right?
Yeah, it does. It just streamlines the entire process, makes us as business owners feel comfortable knowing out there that the story that is being told is accurate and not false claims and different things like that. Seeing that too with other people that are reselling products or affiliates. So having those strong videos that can really be part of that sales process and sales cycle for you is super, super important. And I know you've mentioned storytelling, something that we love here at DMC, and understanding that being able to tell stories are it's hard to do, it's hard to learn, but being able to really do that. What are some of the things for people that may have never done the storytelling types of videos out there that you would recommend to create authentic and relatable video content? What would those tips be to really connect with those mid-funnel audiences?
Yeah, man, that's such a good question. There's a couple different ways I'm gonna come at this one. So at the end of the day, like video is the preferred medium by audiences everywhere, right? And it's because it's infused with visuals and audio, sound, music, the tone, motion graphics galore from a brand identity standpoint. Like all of these elements just make the experience so like rich, or at least potentially, but you have to do it right. You can't people expect a degree of production value, right? To like show that you care about your audience. So I always caution like yeah, things like budget and timeline and bandwidth, like all those are real things that we're up against all of the time, right?
Cool.
But like assuring that when you're telling and showing your story, that you're putting the right value behind it because your audience can they receive that. They experience the production value that they're witnessing. And that has like a psyche thing where they're like, well, that was okay. Like, I guess it could have been better, or like, I'm not sure it really worked the way they expected it to. I wonder what my experience will be like really working with them, like as a customer, right? There's like sort of these undercurrents of like belief that's being built. So I always encourage like infuse as much production value as you can because it pays off in that experience with the with your audience, with your prospective buyer, and infusing that trust and belief in that you care about them at the end of the day, right? So I always sort of like to start with that because it's a bit like I don't know, it's not as tactical, I guess. But when it comes to the storytelling, it's like there's an attention span challenge, right? Like especially on websites and on LinkedIn and any other YouTube, anywhere else. So there's plenty of data from this. In fact, like Wistia, the video platform, just put out their video marketing benchmark report yesterday, I think. And so there's an expectation that short form engagement engagement for short form is always better, right? So it is like, how can you synthesize your main point, have like one key takeaway that it talks to one key audience in the way that you want them to, so they have that resonance on that one topic, and make it short, concise, entertaining, educational, like whatever tone you're trying to set here, make sure that it is concise, right? So like again, like that's where we say like, well, one video is not gonna solve all of your challenges because like at that point you're actually doing a 2 hour webinar if you're trying to explain everything you're doing, right? So like it's in that journey, it's in that drumbeat you're trying to create in your interactions with your prospective buyers. Keep it short, keep it concise, keep it direct, pain point solution sets, tell a story within that framework. So with that, your customers are an excellent source of storytelling because it's therefore it's less on you, less on, navel gazing, less trying to figure out your own like messaging in that way. It's like you just show proof and build trust and validate through your customers, and you're championing them as heroes, right? And they're telling their story in the framework of a pain point you help them solve, right? Which is really powerful.
100%. And, I think the use of the client testimonials and case studies is huge. And trying to captivate that from an owner's point of view is sometimes hard to ask the client. So, one of the things that I know has worked very well for us is if we're bringing on a client or we're talking to even our clients and preaching to them of follow this rule, is when you bring on a brand new client, set up that expectation that you're going to video their progress, video their entire
Oh, I
process they
love
went
that.
through. And now they're buying into that and they're saying, yeah, no problem. And at the end, we want to find out how we did. So we're going to ask you a series of questions. Um, Sometimes, again, hard for the business owner to ask your client questions. So companies like myself, I'm sure Tim, you probably can do this too, or already do, is that you're actually interviewing their clients. So we do that on a regular basis where we
Correct.
interview our clients. And man, that is freaking gold. I mean, we're getting people that are literally spilling their guts to us, telling us, back to the HVAC story again, telling us on how an HVAC clean air system helped their mom with COPD, helped their kid with allergies, and started crying on camera. I'm like, yeah,
Yes.
that's the
Emotion.
gold right there.
Emotion.
Get
Yes.
get that emotion. So yeah, I would say for any business owners, marketers out there, tee up your clients to capture those stories, capture the essence of their emotions and what they're experiencing with your business is always a great way to interject into a video there and just gets them to see, okay, this is what my kind of experience is going to be if I hire you as well. So awesome nuggets, Tim. I love that. As far as what you got going on now and some of the current times that we're living in, any other bonus nuggets that you want to provide or hot topics that you feel our audience should know before we end the show?
I would just want to lean into your last point there, where man, I love the idea of just like adopting this medium into your like regular operations, right? In the sort of capturing of the moments along your customer's journey, like huge, huge. Another path that we've seen success on is like people have written case studies galore, right? And like those are super powerful for SEO and to like have at arm's length to like share with a prospect and things like that. To take it the step further, to put it into the medium of video that people prefer,
Yes.
that's low hanging fruit because you already have that rapport with that customer. They've already put themselves out there for on your behalf through this case study. Now it's taking it a step further and investing in doing the video aspect of that, right? And now you have this really powerful 1-2 punch, and you already have the story, right? The story is in the case study. It's transforming it into the medium. So I always encourage folks that are looking to get into video customer testimonials rather to consider that. Yep.
And for short form video too. I mean, even if you don't, the client already gave you the testimonial. So how do you get as much mileage out of that as possible? And now with AI voices or voiceovers, you can also grab little 10-15 second snippets of that case study, that testimonial, do a little audiogram, may have their picture,
Yep.
feature their
Absolutely.
logo. You're showing them some love too, and you're getting them some awareness for their brand. So most people don't frown upon that. If you use it, they already gave you the testimonial, but just see how many
Exactly.
ways you can use it. And
Absolutely. And don't be shy to recycle it too, right? Like that story probably has a couple different nuanced angles, and you, of course, probably have different ideal customer profiles and folks that you're talking to. So, like, reprising that for those respective audiences, huge, hugely strategic.
yeah, and that's the same thing with podcasts like this that we're doing. I mean, this content is valuable, and there's so many little nuggets in here to repurpose and use in so many different ways nowadays. And just be creative with it, and know that doing these things are not just to get one episode; it's to get these bite-sized pieces of content that build credibility. They're going to build your authority. Trust is such a hard thing, especially if you're in the construction world and roofing world. We had the hurricanes down here in Florida this past year, and it sucked. But you don't know who's real, who's not real. So those testimonials, looking at people's reviews, seeing video testimonials, videos of their work, that helps that buying decision.
Before, afters, that's a story, right? Like all of it. So primed.
Awesome stuff, man. And I know you've been kind enough here to give our audience a nice video marketing playbook. So what's that all about? And then also let our audience know how they can get a hold of you.
Heck yeah, yeah. So we have this playbook as you described. It's called Funnel Focused, but it's a ungated free PDF that you're welcome to use it. There's also a quiz in there too that kind of helps you like gauge where you are in your sort of video marketing ecosystem, right? But it effectively describes where and how video can play a part in your buyer's journey in the proverbial funnel from top to bottom.
Okay, perfect. And where do people go to grab that?
Yeah, you can grab it from our website. It's a pop-up. So that's pennant.video. We should also throw a link in the show notes
Oh
here
yeah,
so we can do that. Yeah.
we'll handle that for you. We'll get it right there in the description for you for sure.
Yeah, yeah, perfect. Yeah. And then you can find me on LinkedIn and then yeah, our website, pennant.video or pennantvideo.com. Both go to the same place.
That's awesome, man. Well, really, really appreciate all the wonderful insight and the great nuggets here. And, we do video marketing on our side, but I love bringing other perspectives on here and
Yeah.
there's expertise. I mean, I heard you talk about animated videos. That's not something that we really are experts at. So that's where our relationship works with Tim. If we have something that we need on that end, we can push things back and forth. If Tim needs some crazy AI type of video,
Yeah,
he may come to us for that stuff. So to us,
absolutely.
it's about working together, helping our clients out, using the knowledge that's out there. And think that was an awesome episode. Thanks for joining me, man.
Heck yeah, Devin. Thank you.
All right, that's a wrap for another great DMC Marketing Nugget. Go ahead and hit that like and share button and listen on your favorite streaming apps and visit dmcmarketingnugget.com to watch all of our past episodes. Here's to your success.